horse, here's you. Your original strategy would have gone tum. In other words, his neck goes down and you go backwards. Tum. What we actually want is that if there's a little rock of your shoulders, it's a forward rock. Okay. So that means your body is going that way, that way, that way, and not this way, this way, this way. Did I talk to you about that yesterday? I talked to somebody who wasn't here. Okay. If you watch Kira Kaplan in canter, you really see this. If you watch Heather Blitz, who I coach in canter, you really see this. The canter movement comes like this. Like this. They're saying to the horse, the outside hind leg. Get on the outside hind leg. Get on the outside hind leg. If the rider goes tum, what is the rider saying to the horse?
Well, I think she's giving it up to the outside shoulder.
Well, the inside foreleg more than anything else. They're going tum. All the lines of force are going to the shoulders, the front legs. This is taking the lines of force and the emphasis to the back leg, to the back leg, to the back leg, and not to boom to the front leg. Right? So you're holding the energy in the sit. So the energy, and you were starting to do this well, is actually going a little bit to the hind leg, the hind leg, the hind leg. This angle should close, close, close. If there's a little shoulder movement, it goes forward, 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 rather than backwards, backwards, backwards.
Hey, Polly, if you want to do it again.
What you're doing, and you're there going, gee, God, this is so forward. But biomechanically, it's a little close, 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 and not an open, open, open. You'll see 25 people doing open to the 26 that's doing close. Unless you look really at the elite levels, and then not everybody's doing close. But you look at Kira Kovic, Heather Blitz, Stefan, you look at the really good biomechanics people, you will see it's close. Okay? Now, just walk on while we discuss where we're going here. We can up the stakes a little in canter by doing some small lengthen shortens. We can come to say, can you do the same mechanics in trot? Okay, so how do you want to use the time? What is going to be the best investment for you?
Did you say small lengthening and shortening?
Yes. So we can do small lengthen shortens, or we can come to trot and, you know, see what we have to do to keep the mechanics happening in trot to keep you keeping up with him.
I'd rather work with canter.
Okay. All right. So let's be on this canter, and I just want you to consider a minute that in a lengthen, whether it's trot or canter, Tess says extended trot, extended canter. Most people you'll see will lean back. I'm saying that's dubious because it sends all the weight to the front legs, okay? But when you lean back, you're actually utilizing what I call the water ski motor boat effect. As in, you go back. Well, let's suppose I'm stood on a rug. I'm stood on a little rug. Somebody pulls the rug out from under my feet. What happens to me? The rug's on a polished floor. What happens to the rug?
Scoots out.
Yeah, so the more I go back, the more the rug scoots out, okay? So the person that leans back in an extension is utilizing that effect. They lean back, the rug scoots out. They get the extension to happen, but at the expense of the weight going to the front legs. Okay? Now that same rider gets to the end of the diagonal and the test says collected trot or collected canter. What does the rider do then?
Lean back in the diagonal.
Yes? Okay, and what does the rider do with her body when it says collected trot or collected canter? That same rider?
Probably kicks and pulls.
So the average rider leans back more. The average rider thinks this is collection. I think he's putting the rug out from under you. Right? So let's use an analogy of, think of a wave. Think of I've never really sailed, but when you catch a wave in sailing and you go on the wave, it's called planing. In surfing, you either catch a wave or you don't. In the extension, maybe you come back a little bit from the crest of the wave. But what has to happen in collection is you have to catch up to the crest of that wave. Right? Collection is actually where you're trying to get yourself caught up to the crest of the wave. If you come back, you've blown it. Most people think if they come back, they're going to weight the hindquarters. I think if they come back, they're going to set up water ski motorboat. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll canter right. We'll just see if we can set up good kneel, good bear down, good back, good canter. And we're going to ride small lengthen shortens on the circle for only about a quarter of a circle. And just see what happens mechanically, okay? Okay, so we're trying to have ourselves a good up back for starters. You can think of suctioning him up on the up. Really good kneel, really good bear down. If you say go, you're going to be doing your damnedest to not get left behind, okay? But right now you're just kind of in working canter in a neutral here. Good, good bear down, good thighs, good lightness. Okay, so let's have you still think of sucking him up on the up, still thinking of round wheels. All right, so go a little more, lengthen the canter a little. A little bit more. Good, shorten. Well, that was more than I meant, shorten. Think of the crest of the wave. Almost like his wither was winched on a string up towards your navel. Go a little. A little bit more. Enough. Shorten. His wither towards your navel. Okay, now you've got to try and get hold of him between your thighs. You've got to stay really narrow in the short. Lengthen a little. Bit more. Shorten. Shorten. His wither to your navel on the crest of the wave. Shorten. Shorten more. Shorten more. Keep thinking of sucking him up on the up as you shorten. On the crest of the wave. Is your bear down stronger? Is your rein stronger? Okay. Are your thighs as narrow up at the top as they are by your knee? Okay. Walk and halt over here. All right. Just drop the reins a minute. Not your stirrups, the reins. Let me hold your stick for a minute. Put one hand out in front of you like this. That's... Okay? Put your knuckles parallel to his neck. And your fingers straighter, but your knuckles are on the top. Like a roof shape. Make a roof shape. Okay, got it. We've got a roof shape. It's across in front of you. This is the horse. Here's his spinal processes. Put your other hand on top of it. I'll catch him if he gallops off. Okay, this is you. You could be pressing the top hand on the bottom hand. That's kind of what you were doing a bit at the beginning of yesterday. You could be resting the top hand on the bottom hand. Now try and use your top hand to pick up the glove on your bottom hand. Right? Now you're not narrow enough here to do that pickup. So we're trying, so you're scooping him up, right? So it's both kneeling out of his man trap. It's the hand, what I call the hand-on-hand pickup that kind of scoops him up, right? And you have to be on here. You can't do it if you're only on there. You're too wide to do it, right? And it's at this point when you're collecting, you're not so much pushing the head and neck away as thinking of him winch up to you, right? His shoulders, his neck coming up, right? So in a warm-up, and if he's pushing back to you, you're going to think of from here pushing him away. If you're trying to collect, you're going to think of reversing it. Like he is pulled towards you. Maybe a string from here could pull him towards you. You've got buttons, he's got braids. Every braid is pulled on a string to every button. You with me? Yeah? So you're trying to keep kneeling or you just squash him. You're trying to do the hand-on-hand pickup. And you're trying to think of his braids towards your buttons like the whole front end is, and you're going to go up on the crest of the wave. Okay, let's go again. So the biggest thing you didn't have was that narrowness. And it might just pay you to put your fists on the side of the pommel again with each thigh and see if you can get them really snugged in and really even.